At the beginning of this story, we see a grocery shop in which all the products have life inside them and they can think and feel things just like humans in the morning. All the products in the shop, such as corn and cabbage, wake up from sleep like humans and wake up all the other products and have a lot of fun. While a small sausage in the package of sausages, whose name was Barry, seemed very sad because he was the smallest in height. He believed that it was because of him that customers do, not by his packets, which seemed very bad to Barry. Barry's friends, i.e. the rest of his sausages, convince him not to worry because there is no such thing, and someone will definitely buy us and take us from here now when the soft cleaner starts taking the packet of expired sources with him. Barry and he are very happy to see this because their date had not yet expired. All the sausages in Barry's packet start talking to the lock in the lock packet that he has with him, and a sausage named Frank, who had a lock with his girlfriend named Brenda, were both dreaming of living in the great together. While on the other hand, we can see a swear who came to put back a can of honey mustard because he accidentally picked up the wrong can of honey mustard while shopping. That box of honey mustard bought by that swear was very frightening and tells his companions that this swear is very cruel. Then we see a girl who picks up the package and puts both Frank and Brenda in the trolley, which they were both very happy with because they were going to be graded together. The girl also takes the box of honey mustard returned by the customer and goes to the counter to get the billing. That box of honey mustard was very scared and to commit suicide. He gets crushed under the trolley. Frank and Brand come out of their pockets and try to save him, but to no avail. He commits suicide by jumping off the honey mustard trolley. Suiting all the products were very late, and now due to the accident of the trolley, all the products in the trolley start running around saving their lives. Now a bottle of a sausage named the same Doss is very angry at Frank and Bread because he fell off the trolley while saving their honey mustard and was captured, which he is now responsible for them both. The Dutch start chasing Frank and Vinda, but then the shop cleaner thinks of Doss as garbage and puts him in the dustbin, from which Frank and the band save you. Next, we see two chunks named Sammy and Kareem Abdullah who, like Doss, were responsible for the Frank and the Brain Bandit accident and were getting very angry at them both. Brenda somehow calms Frank down along with Sammy and Kareem, and then they decide to meet with the four of us to find out why Honey Mustard committed suicide. Next, we see the Doss, which somehow gets out of the dustbin after coming out of there. He sees that he has been cut from a place where it was leaking. He is very upset to see that. Only then he gets a juice packet, which was injured like him. He fills himself with that juice packet and closes his cut with a sticker of juice, which made him much more powerful than before, and then he sets out to take revenge on Frank and Barendra. On the other hand, Frank and Barendra, along with Sammy and Kareem, had reached the storeroom of the shop to find out the truth of the oath, where there were many products like them, which started to be active and fun at night. Frank and Barendra have a lot of fun with Sammy and Kareem in the showroom, but during this time Frank gets far away from his comrades, where he finds Fai Fada, who kidnaps Frank, and when he is done, he sees two of his comrades with Firewater in front of him. Firewater and he together tell Frank that they never have a spy because he is immortal, and then he tells Frank to come and enjoy himself by smoking. Not finding Frank for long, Brenda begins to worry about him and decides to find him. You come across Signature Tequila near Breda, who tells Brenda that he's calling Frank. Hearing her, Brenda follows, accompanied by Sammy and Kareem. Signature Tequila brings them all to a place where some people are already sitting and asks them to sit there and wait. After this, the Signature Tequila is gone from there after she leaves. Trace Ka comes to Breda and tells her that Signature Tequila is cheating on them because he works for Dodge. That's why he quickly hides here somewhere, and after some time when the Signature Tequila comes there, he sees that Brenda is not there with him. The Dutch also came there with her, who is very angry at not finding Brenda there and tears the Signature Tequila and drinks it. So the Signature Tequila dies on the spot. You take Trace's Bread and his companions out of that place. On the other hand, who asks Frank Firewater why they don't all go out of that place. Firewater tells Frank the whole truth, that after getting out of that place, People will kill and eat and humans are very bad. Frank did not believe his words and wanted to find out the truth himself, so he decided to leave the place despite the refusal of the fire water. In the next scene, we see the same girl who bought a lot of vegetables from the shop with sausage and bun and took them to her house. Those sausages and times were much happier. But the next moment when the girl peels a potato and starts boiling it, and after cutting the tomatoes from the middle, she cuts things into small pieces, then all those products get scared very badly and start running away from there after saving their lives. Barry somehow manages to escape with his life and comes out of the room. But during this time, all his companions were killed coming out of the room. Barry sees a lock, and when he goes to him to ask for help, he sees that he was already dead and there were scary insects inside him. Now in front of him, the boys are seen talking and they are both addicted to drugs, and Barry somehow comes to his house with a boy. After coming home, the boy once again starts consuming drugs, and as soon as he takes the drug, he can see Barry and he is very scared to see Barry speak. Now, all the other products in the room were also there, who talked to the boy with Barry, because after taking the drug, the boy was able to talk to all those products. Barry asks the boy to leave himself back in the shop, to which the boy also agrees because he realized his mistake that he has hid a lot of products so far, but the next moment the boy falls unconscious there. Then we see Bada, who was looking for Frank with Traces, Semi, and Kareem, but then there's Dutch, who starts chasing them to kill them all. Brad escapes from the dacha with his companions. Dutch is chasing the two of them, but at the same time he gets stuck in between the two rakes. Take advantage of this opportunity to have bread and get out of there with it. After some time, Breda and Frank also meet, and she is very happy to meet Frank. Frank then begins to tell Breda the whole truth about how he eats products like her in a very bad way. Brenda did not believe much in Frank's words because she still considered her customer as God, so she left Frank alone. On the way, Brenda tells Tresca that Frank has been talking to her and that Tresca has now returned to her rack, so she goes back to her rack and adjusts herself to a packet of buns. On the other hand, Doss had become much more powerful than before and now wanted to take revenge on Frank and Bonda. In the next scene, we see Barry, who was at the boy's house with the rest of the products. Now Barry has a handyman come to him who tells him that only this boy can drag them back to the shop. After hearing this, Barry enters the boy's ear and tries to wake him up, but after waking up from sleep, the boy was conscious, so he thinks that he must have talked to all those products in an inebriated state, so he extends his hand to a packet of chips to eat. After coming to his senses, all the products were afraid of him and were running away from there, but the boy grabbed the packet of chips, tore it and ate it and started putting it in boiling water to cook Barry, and when the boy bent down to pick up Barry, the hot water accidentally fell on him, due to which the boy himself slipped and fell down, during which the axe hung on the wall fell on the boy, and he died on the spot. Then we come back to Frank, who gets a cooking book that explains how to make discos and eat them. He sees how humans eat them very badly by killing them, and to show all the products in the soup with proof, Frank comes to the shop's CCTV camera with the book and shows all his colleagues with the help of the camera that humans are monsters who kill and eat them. All the products of the shop were still not able to believe Frank's words. As soon as the morning comes, the shop opens once again, and people start coming in shock to buy their goods. As Swear buys a packet of buns from Brenda and puts it in her trolley. Frank runs towards him to save Bada, but he can't reach Brenda. Now Barry has also somehow saved and come to grief. He meets Frank and tells him that humans are monsters who kill and eat them, but humans can also be killed, and he shows Frank the boy's severed head. Seeing the boy's severed head and listening to Barry's words, all of you products believe that he is telling the truth and that humans are a monster that kills and eats them. After learning the truth about humans, all the products in the shop together try to save Baranda and attack the customers present there with poisonous and narcotic substances and make them unconscious. You Brands and Frank are very happy to meet each other. Brand and Frank then alert their colleagues to fight humans with the help of a CCTV camera, but now all the unconscious customers come back to their senses, after which a dangerous fight between customers and products begins. Humans were much more powerful than all the products, so they were even killing some products by eating them, but all those products were also bravely fighting humans and taking them captive. Frank Grada and Barry are also attacked by a human, but they somehow escape from his attack, while on the other hand, that was also there, who entered the pain of an oath and began to control it. When Frank tries to stop Dodge, Dodge attacks and bites Frank, causing Frank to fall to his death, but Breda saves him. Now the food packets together somehow blow Dodge into the air with the help of gas along with the man, where both of them die after Dodge's death. All the food products of the morning are very happy and celebrate the victory. After this, he goes to all the Firewater, who tells them that he does not live in the real world but in a cartoon world, and the people who make him and voice him live in their real world.